Shout out to everyone in the chat. Oh my gosh. Twinkle Tits, thank you so much. Twinkle Tits did a donation to our channel. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate you. It's definitely going to go towards our channel. Anything that channel wise. So I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. You are awesome. Let me shout everybody out. Sorry, I'm looking at the bow. I have a bow on. I took one of Baby Bunny's bows and I was like, let me put it on my hair. What do you guys think of that? Can we bring bows back? What do you guys think? Let me know. Emma, Gumby, Cook 13 Doodle, TT, welcome. Shelly. Shelly, how's my sound? Tell me how you doing. So you're on your way to Florida, boarding plane in Charlotte. Hope y'all are having a great day. You better have a safe flight and make sure you turn off your electronics. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to turn off your electronics while you're boarding or while it takes off. I could be wrong. Daisy, Dee Dee, hey Dee Dee, welcome. Let me shout out my members. Okay. Don't know how long I'll have. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. Daisy, Daisy. Yes. Let me shout everybody out. You are awesome. Jen, Twinkle, Twinkle Tits is, listen, I'm telling you, Twinkle Tits is a legend here on YouTube. I was talking about Twinkle Tits yesterday, but Twinkle Tits definitely blessed our channel yesterday. Thank you so much. It's definitely going for a good cause. Thank you, my love. Ebony Eyes, shout out to you. Thank you. That's not my name. Texas. All right. You guys already know the drill. You know the drill. You come in here, you take off your shoes. Oh, you haven't. Okay, good. You have not departed yet, but at some point you're gonna have to turn it off because they yell at you if you have it on. Welcome, welcome, big bow. Only the big bows. This is a little bow. I stole it from Baby Bunny. But yes. Hi, Arizona, Cali. Let's see, Massachusetts. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Trace, welcome. Let me greet everybody else. I think I saw one of my regulars in here. Inquisitive is here. Shout out to you, all the regulars. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Jezebel. Yes, Gail, good morning from Los Angeles. Anita says, hi, happy holidays. Thanks to everyone for the updates. Hugs from a very wet Johannesburg, South Africa. Shout out to everybody from South Africa. We are international here at Down the Rabbit Hole News. Bobby, Nana T, welcome. All right. I think I've said hello to everyone. Peek-a-boo. Shout out to you with your big ass eyes. Shout out to you. Good. I'm glad I'm trying to get used to it. I know that if I move it, it just sounds kind of weird. But shout out to you, Norway. Mona is from Norway, guys. Ohio. Ohio. Look it. Bobby and Mary are both from Ohio. Hey, Mandy. Bobby and Mary are both from Ohio. See what I'm saying? You never know which state your neighbor could be subscribed. You never know. Hey, Kat. Welcome to the membership and welcome Tucson. Mystical. Hey, welcome. Okay, everybody's coming in. Now, you guys know I got to check the poll, but where are we at on our likes? We got 90 people in here. Shout out to everybody from Facebook. We have Michelle who gave us a little love. Thank you, Michelle. I see it here on my StreamYard screen. Scotland. Look at this. Jive64 Taylor says hello from Scotland. Shout out to you. Yes, Pittsburgh. My love, love it. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy Hanukkah. And if you don't celebrate, that is okay. Just stay blessed and stay wonderful. Okay. Thank you guys. All right. Whew, New Mexico. Look at this. You guys are still dropping. Let me look at this poll right now. Okay, we got 70 votes total. Make sure you hit that like button. Help me set up this like goal, guys. Where are we at? Shout out to the hardworking mods in here. Where are we at? Emma, what should our like goal be? You let me know. We got 95 people here from what it looks like. 96, 95. You were 32 on the like. I love it, Mystical. Thank you. Hey, Petty, welcome. Okay, Montana, Northern California. Perfect. I'm looking at the other screen real quick. Wow, 1,000 likes. Oh man, Nana. Well, I would reach for the stars. At this point, how about we put our like goal at 200? I like that. We don't have 200 people here yet, but maybe if they're watching the replay, they will hit the like button. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching the replay. Thank you. All right, let's look at this poll real quick, guys. Kylie Rodney is 66% and Idaho 4 is 34. I'm going to end this poll right now. Let's talk about this because I'm going to tell you guys something. And I had talked a little bit about this last time, and I was like, I don't want to sound like a broken machine either. Shout out to the Glare. And I'm going to play a little bit, just a little bit of his content here. Shout out to him. I think he's live as well. Shout out to him. You guys know that I think one of the things I really like about the Glare, and a lot of you guys may not, I know we don't always share the same kind of subs. He probably has subs that do not like me, and that's absolutely fine. But one of the things that I really like about the Glare is, his ability to call some of this BS or sniff it out right away. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, okay. I'll be popping in and out of the stream. I brought my dog to the office, and oh, shout out to your dog. Shout out to dog. And I knew this was going to happen where with this whole Kylie Rodney with AWP bringing up this ish about Kylie Rodney and the Nick the tow truck driver guy. And then now you have Ryan Upchurch back in the scenes. Hey Gumby. Yeah, I knew that there was gonna be some level of like controversy. Okay. Once I knew Ryan Upchurch got involved, I knew that controversy was going to happen again. I mean, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? So, I want to share with you guys something here, right? This was back on Facebook back in October. This was posted back in October. And this is why I titled this, Is Adventures with Purpose Hurting the Family? Are they hurting the family as far as the Kylie Rodney family? In October the 13th, Adventures with Purpose posted on Facebook, Our thoughts and prayers are with Kylie and her family. We trust today that a thorough investigation has been completed and will stand by the decision released in the findings. Okay. And this is a Kylie Rodney death rule accident drowning. This is what they posted on TMZ. No foul play signs. And Jules, shout out to Jules. So Jules, I know you've been very active in my comments about this. I know you're very passionate about this situation. She says, I'm not going to say this. Ryan was saying AWP was looking for a fake girl, still wanting to give them the reward money, then got offered a theme song gig. Then they both went away and came back. Jules, can you tell me in your opinion, okay? And I know we have differentiating opinions, right? But is this more harm to the family or is this more good? Like, where are your thoughts on this? Because I feel like it's always good to understand a little bit about like how differences of opinions work here. We're not going to agree. I could tell you that, but I could say that your opinion is something it's different, and I appreciate it. At the same time, just throwing that out there. No, but you just made a valid point. Ryan left, comes back, drops 2 videos, starts calling these content creators out, Cinema Shogun and The Glare. Okay. I don't know. I think the family isn't pushing for answers like I personally think they should, but I think this is good. I think, like you said, this did them any good. Okay. Oh, I agree. I agree. I'm not a fan. And a lot of you guys, they say, are saying the case is still open. But this is what I'm saying. There's so much confusion, and a part of it is I think it's process based. Okay. I messaged a friend, right? Because when I saw this back in October, I was like, okay, so is Adventures with Purpose saying that, your understanding of the findings and therefore everything's closed? And then here comes December 10th when the video was released. The case of Kylie Rodney is still an open investigation as of December 10th. I said, all right. And then you have the statement from Nevada County Sheriff's Office. I had a conversation with a friend about this, and shout out to them because they know who they are. I'm not going to disclose who, but one of the questions that I had was, is Kylie Rodney's case still an open investigation? They said, not an active. There was no crime, so there is no case or investigation to close technically. If you formally ask the Nevada County Sheriff's Office, they will say it's an open case. It will always remain open in case some new information came to light. But that's the same with every accident that was investigated. The only time a file is closed is when a court adjudicates it through the DA's office. But this will never go to the DA's office because there wasn't a crime. So technically, it is open. Yes. It is still being investigated. No. So it's not still being investigated, but technically it's open. The California Highway Patrol still hasn't formally closed or finished their accident report, but that's because the FBI won't share their files. I don't know if they will ever actually complete the accident report the way it's going. They may have just shelved it. And unless the case goes into trial, it's always open. If it goes to trial, then it's formally closes because of the double jeopardy rule. So there is always going to be some level of confusion as it pertains to today. Got you. Okay, and I'm looking at the comments now. They totally disappointed me with how they handled releasing information. Everything from their Facebook post says saying they found her, posting calling the family, releasing Nick for no reason. Look at you guys go in the comments. I think the family has accepted that it's likely, it's not because of the ruling that was made in the coroner's office. So I get confused a little bit because I'm like, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well, with this situation. And I almost wonder now they found her. Okay. I don't take the crown. Okay. I don't take the bow from AWP having found her. But it's what's been happening after that kind of confuses me a little bit. The behavior of it, right? I don't know, guys. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I was watching the Claire, and I think the Claire makes really valid points. I personally, I don't have anything against Mr. Harsh Reality, but I don't agree with 95% of what he says. I'm just going to say that. I think Ryan inserted himself again because he just dropped more music. So once again, using the attention of this tragedy gets in order to self-promote his crap music. Ryan is harmful and the way that he uses his platform. Nonetheless, he drops music. At the same time, the shenanigans starts back. Like I'm not really in the realm of being there something sinister, but I'm still there, think that there's more not being told. Someone knows exactly how she got there and just won't talk in your opinion. Got you. I got you. I got you. Upchurch is back. Shout out to Mucho Taco. It's not Taco Wednesday, just Tuesdays. Recovering body is amazing, but not exactly solving the case. So, which then brings me to the point. They said when they were looking at the Brooke Allensworth case, okay, in that case, I'll talk about some of that stuff later on because I know you guys have been messaging me about the lady. Look, I don't care. I don't care. She doesn't faze me. She doesn't hurt me. She's clearly upset that she was not made front and center about Brooke Ellensworth. And we'll talk about that at some other time because I'm not giving anybody any clout, especially when you work with families. You don't give clout to the people that are wanting it for the wrong reasons. Okay. So, period, point blank. That's what I'm going to say about that. But I'm going to shelve Brooke Ellensworth here for a minute. The only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I feel like there was something that was said at Brooke Ellensworth case at the beginning of that video that is members only right now. I'm sure he's going to release it for the public sometime in the next couple weeks. But basically, he said, he doesn't like doing foul play cases. AWP. Jared said, I was advised by my wife not to touch this case because of foul play. So I sat there and I said, well, and this is a good point. What the information that Nick released, right? Or even him redoing this, and then you have all these people back at it again. Doesn't that kind of give the sense that there might be foul play? And it goes back to Jules of All Trades True Crime said, that there's probably more to this, right? I get confused by that, and I'm only imagining that the subscribers get confused as well. Jared knew what was coming and did what he could to milk as much cash as he could before the name was tainted. I can't change my mind on that point, not with all the posts after the motion filed. I mean, seriously, seriously. And when we had exploring with Nug here, he said, I don't know how you could say you're not going to do foul play cases because in reality, a lot of the cases that you touch, how do you know if it's foul play or not? How would you know? In reality, how do you differentiate something from accidental drowning to foul play? How would anybody know? It doesn't make sense. It none of it makes sense. And this is why I say I feel like his it's one thing like exploring with Nug. You know, he goes out and he finds um these victims, right? Whether it's accidental or foul play. He finds it and then, you know, he does it. He might film certain aspects of it and that's what he does. But going above and beyond that to investigations, to interviewing tow truck people, to doing different things, I'm like, now this is just bingo right here. Somebody said it, Janelle said it. Dramatization with a purpose. You've inserted yourself to a situation, just like you did when you said something looks suspicious. That could have been edited out and it wasn't for dramatic effect. Then you posted this on Facebook, okay? That you stand with the findings. And then, of course, you're going to say this. The case of Kylie Rodney is still an open investigation. There's a lot of technicalities here. There's a lot of processes here. And shout out to Heels in the Air as well, which I'm going to show a little bit of her. I want to show a little bit of what the Glare said because I think the Glare makes an excellent point. If we go back and forth on processes that we don't necessarily own, then we're only stuck on processes that we don't own. What does the family want at the end of the day? What have they accepted at the end of the day? And what is our role right now? Is it to continue to go? Or do we accept what the family wants? As Jules says. I don't know. And that's an honest question. How do we go from here? Do we go back and forth? Do we, you know, and I'm going to tell you, I was, let me play this real quick.
Totally trash talked him in one of the videos. He was trash talking me. It was funny. And this guy just doesn't care because all he sees is a sub count. This is what people like this do. They don't care about justice. They don't care about victims. They don't care about anything except, you know, building their own brand. That's all they care about. This guy is just a poor man's Jared from AWP. That's all he is.
And everything about it. They're the idiots. They're the ones who are, you know, the drama hunters, you know, the tragedy pimps and things like that.
See, look,
I think
I love how he tried to
get
switch
a simple fact right.
And he was in my chat earlier trying to say, "Oh well, no, I'm the tragedy pimp because I have, you know, links to PayPal and Cash App and things of that nature in my description." All creators have that. Almost all the creators have that. Almost every true crime creator has that.
I am so glad that the Glare brought this up because let me tell you guys something about this labeling of tragedy pimps. I've used the label before. So this is so weird to have somebody like I'm starting to feel like this is just being very honest with you guys. I'm starting to feel like this label of tragedy pimping has like what is the meaning of it? Because I show my Cash App as well. I've had it stroll on the screen. Heck, I have it right here on the bottom. Right there. Look, Cash App right there. And I've always been very I don't beg. I've always been very respectful. I'm very honest. I make money when you guys click and view these. I have to, you know, if I'm making money, then I'm very honest about it, right? I've never hid from that. I've also said one time again, you know, I'm a grad. I graduated with I have a grad degree in social work. I have my undergraduate is in criminology. Yeah, I've worked in government for 10 years. I definitely know the ins and outs of the criminal justice system. I'm very skilled in it. So I very, 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 very much have always been open about who I am, right? And what I've done and how I do things. I really struggle with this idea of, or the term tragedy pimp sometimes, because I don't necessarily know when it applies to people. I know when people, thank you so much for the super sticker. I know when people make it a point to tragedy pimp, and I could show you a couple of that. I mean, I have no problems where I feel like this is definitely really sucks that they did this and they said this, right? But I just really struggle with it because I feel like it gets thrown out like crazy all the time. Sorry, I was getting a call. It gets thrown out like crazy and it loses its meaning, right? Um, Let me know. Gumby, right, grifter. Thank you. But is it because let me tell you what happened to me. I'll tell you what happened to me. I was given that label when Hero came to my chat, right? And Jessica, I think I was one of the first channels that they came to. Hero was the one that spoke on my channel. And somebody in that arena gave that title to me. I'm not really sure why. I was like confused. And I guess where it came from was because of the fact that I had my Cash App open. So people use that label, and I'm just like, well, okay, I thought I was under the impression that, I'm not doing fundraising for people. I'm not doing different things. I'm talking about these cases, and I offer the platform. And the biggest thing I wanted to make sure that Hero and Jessica knew was to be careful about which content creators they go to when they talk about their cases, right? And what's going on. So I was very confused when we throw this based on a Cash App, that is what qualifies a tragedy pimp. And so I sat there, I said, well, damn, then I guess I won't be following these content creators anymore that label that, because they get these things, like, I guess the label gets confused. So it's so confusing. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. It's so confusing because now you have this guy, Harsh Reality, using it on the glare. He's saying that the glare is a tragedy pimp. And this is what I'm saying is, you guys gotta, for those that are using that label, you gotta put more definitive definitions to it, because then people get confused. I could say, you know what, you're a tragedy pimp for doing this. But how do I not know that they're not using their skill set, that as far as what they're supposed to be using it for? I don't know. There's a difference between spreading awareness and tragedy pimping. I appreciate you, Gumby, but I'm giving you guys a heads up that that's been used, and it gets used so much that I don't even know what qualifies as one. Consider the source at Rabbit. Those trolls want to confuse and distract. Thank you, Petty. I appreciate. Jared always made it seem like they had no money and they needed funds to help them. But they went, there you go. They were, I mean, what did Kyler say? He said, they had all this money and they made it sound like they didn't. I'm very careful. So I try not to fall into that. But like I said, the tragedy pimping part is a term that people are using willy-nilly. Here you have somebody using it on the glare, and I definitely don't think that the glare is a tragedy pimp. I think tragedy pimp is used for those that use abuse victims for financial aid. I got you, Pete, but you could say that about every channel if you think about it. Because if I have a click and a view and I'm starting and I'm talking about a victim story, uh that's financial gain. I'm just being very honest, guys. Very, very rich and very influential people for sure. Gotcha. The difference is that you don't embellish around with the details or rumors to the fullest gain of your attention and masses. You mention or cover something, but it's exploited to the 10th. I got you. You may mention or cover something, but it's not exploited to the 10th degree. Got you. Got you. Okay. You can say something about News Nation. Right, Jules. YouTubers need money to live, but they can do it honestly, like Rabbit. Thank you so much. Okay. So I just wanted to point that out, and I'm so glad that the Glare brought this up because it's the truth. We share our Cash Apps and we talk about certain topics, and let me give you guys an example. Justice for Shanquella is a topic that the family has asked for people not to let it die. People want people to talk about this. So, yeah, got you. Look what Tim B says. Not really. If you're spreading awareness, that's not abusing a person. Like accusing people of being murderers or attacking the victims. Thank you, Tim B. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Because that brings clarity to me, who don't believe the BS coming out of their own mouths, and they say salacious things knowing that it feeds certain viewer segments. They're pushers of different kinds of drugs. I got you. Oh, thank you, Mona. Thank you. So don't worry about it, Bree. It's okay. I think Tragedy Pimp is using a victim's name in titles and hashtags and not speaking about the victim, but fighting with other creators. Darcy, and that's a good point. I think I think sometimes there are times where you do have to defend yourself. But I think that can be a very good point as well. If he didn't exploit his workers, then I wouldn't care about him always begging for donations. I gotcha. All right, let's go ahead and continue to play.
But what we don't do is spread misinformation. Now, he was in the chat talking about, give me one example where I actually stated something as fact that wasn't true. Well, that's the thing, is that's what people like you and Jared from AWP do. You don't actually outright say it because you fear litigation. You know that if you outright say the things that you're implying, you could be subject to a lawsuit. And that's why you don't outright say them. See, I'm onto your game, and my audience is intelligent enough to be onto your game as well. We get what you're doing. We see what you're doing. And you think that you're smarter than everybody else because you're like, show me where I actually said this. It doesn't matter if you actually said it. You have an audience of idiots that support you and count on you to create a narrative that is going to be dramatic, that is going to make the situation more traumatic. Hence the Tragedy Pimp title that you have earned so eloquently. It's Diggs, I totally agree with you. Right. I mean, and and I get it. People are like, oh, well, I got the dirt on him. I don't care about dirt on this guy, dude. Like, I don't need the dirt on this guy. Like, all you
This is the funny part for me too, okay? Because I did watch when Ryan Upchurch was calling out Harsh Reality. He said it. He said, here you are saying you're not going to talk about this case, and yet again you're talking about this case. Did Harsh Reality, his rebuttal to that, or even saying to that, was, well, I am going to talk about it. Maybe there's a misunderstanding, right, Mama? Maybe there's a misunderstanding of, what cases I can or can't talk about, or when I'm going to talk about it if there's no update. That could very well be the case, right? But what gets to me is, like, you guys still don't call Ryan Upchurch out for spewing the shit that he has. He literally accused content creators of having something to do with the disappearance of Kylie Rodney. Then he said that Kylie Rodney wasn't even real. When do you guys, you Harsh Reality, you other people, you Zav Girl, and I have no beef against these people, but when do you call these people with 3 million subscribers out? Because you have to call them out for that. Otherwise, then your point is pointless. Right. And thank you, Jules. Let me read your super chat. You said, sorry about that. I missed it here. I unclicked it, my love. Or SW 4x4 Explorers. I'm floored that people are calling and threatening people. We should not insert ourselves into families. Merry Christmas, Laura. Shout out to you, Laura. Shout out to you, Laura. I agree. Hey, Chico, welcome. Promises every time to pull out a video, I go after him, and not a creator. I called out. This is what I'm saying. Why not call out Ryan Upchurch for saying the things that he said? Has he? Okay, so Marlene Cantu says Harsh has called him out. I haven't seen anything where he calls him out. I called him out. Yes, you did. I made a video debunking one of his video points by points. He was out of it for a while with his wide eyes. Shake my head. I have no proof of this, but I suspect Ryan Upchurch was on meds of some kind. He was acting like someone on stimulants. Right. I mean, he had to have been. And dude, I don't know. I don't know. But who's Ryan Upchurch? Ryan Upchurch is a country music singer, rapper, country rap music singer. Very celebrity status, I guess. With 3 point something million subscribers, who decided to come into the true crime community and provide, I guess, aid to the true crime community about Kylie Rodney. And so he definitely spent some stuff out of stuff, and it just got crazy over the summer. And that's who Ryan Upchurch is. I can't tell you his songs because I don't listen to his music. I'm just being honest. I don't listen to his music. Thank you. Too many creators are getting money and equipment, so that could be why. I got you. Country music singer rapper, isn't he like I'm just being I don't listen to him. I don't. This is not. Hey Heather, welcome. It's me, Heather. Tinkle Tits says Ryan or Peekaboo. Tinkle Tits Ryan has openly admitted to recreational use of Adderall. So yeah, definitely stimulants. Those stimulants will get you, man. I mean, respect for self-made and not ever signing any contracts, but definitely doesn't know how to use his power. His power can definitely harm people. You know what I'm saying? Definitely harm people. You're so funny, Laura. Oh my gosh, you guys are in on these comments, but let's go. And so then somebody said, I think Marlene said Harsh has called him out. Marlene, can you tell me which video that was? Let me know. Because I feel like here he says Ryan Upchurch has the heart for it to talk about Kylie. I'm still waiting on the video that says I was lying when I said Kylie Rodney wasn't real. It was a joke. Haha. I thought he would have been done by that, like by the end of that. Thank you. Thank you. To say that, like I was like, yo, if that was I would have been upset. I would have been upset. I don't know, guys, but let me go ahead and play this.
You have to do is just look at his thumbnails. You don't even have to really watch his videos. His thumbnails are clickbait, and they bait the type of people who want something to be more than it is because they want and thirst for something more dramatic than an accident. They thirst for it. They want it so bad.
Shout out to the Sean David Way Show. Hey, Sean, welcome, guys. Show some love to Sean and make sure you check out his channel.
That is what makes a tragedy pimp. Let's give it to him. A creator who goes, okay, well, people want this. Let's give it to them. See, I won't do that. And the creators that I get along with and respect won't do that either. And I take pride in that.
Right. And it is that this case is not closed. The Kylie Rodney case is still an active investigation.
Okay. See, he keeps saying that word active investigation. A lot of cases are still open because, and open being the key word. Okay. Open being the key word. Open meaning that we're not going to do shit about it in this particular case anyway. Law enforcement's basically saying we're done looking into it. But if something comes up that we may have missed for the sake of prosecution, for the sake of a court date that may or may not happen, probably won't, but just in case it does, we don't want anything officially stating that the case is closed because anything's possible. But the fact is, we've seen the evidence.
Now, there you go. And he just said what I just read from one of my good friends. Guys, very simple. Okay? And I was, and I wouldn't say very simple, but it is a little complex. It's more of a process situation. And that's why I feel like we're getting caught up on this a little bit. Let me see if I can find that message again. Not active. There was no crime, so there is no case or investigation to technically close. If you formally ask the Nevada County Sheriff's Office, they will say it's an open case. It will always remain open in case some new information came to light. But that's the same with every accident that was investigated. The only time a file is closed is when a court adjudicates it through the district attorney's office. But this will never go to the district attorney's office because there was no crime. So technically, it is open, yes. But is it being investigated? No. The California Highway Patrol still hasn't formally closed or finished their accident report, but that's because the FBI won't share their files. I don't know if they will ever actually complete the accident report the way it's going. They may have just shelved it. So, you guys tell me what you guys think. I think the Glare explained it there pretty rationally. Okay? I don't know. You guys, it's like he's right and wrong. Pretty much. Pretty much. If Harsh Reality is waiting for an email from the Nevada County Sheriff's Office that basically says the case is closed. That's it. It's solved. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Is that what he's waiting for? I don't know, guys. Hey, Kat, welcome. Hey, Nay, welcome. I think so too. I mean, and I'm looking at your guys' comments. I don't think like anyone who's putting themselves in the investigation and intentionally causes harm to other. That's Ryan. Oof. You guys are going in on Ryan. My goodness. My goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's what it felt like in this video. It felt like Harsh was giving him props to hopefully not get in his bad side. Come on, Harsh. Let's just be real. That's what you were doing. Let's be real. You know? Accidental drowning. The FBI won't share their files is one of those sentences that should be concerning to people, in my opinion. And that's something, it's like you got to get on these agencies' necks about this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, well, what are we expecting? How is Harsh Reality's email more accurate than what's already been put out there? And mind you, this is why I go back to this piece right here. Okay? This piece from AWP. Our thoughts and prayers are with Kylie and her family. We trust today that a thorough investigation has been completed and will stand by the decision released by the findings. And then the bottom, it says, Kylie Rodney's death ruled accidental drowning. No signs of foul play. Heather says, I'm a fan of Harsh, but lately I'm not sure due to some of the comments. But I do like, nothing against the man. I'm sure he's a nice guy. This piece, I was like, this is where you're stuck. Instead of going after people, other content creators, look back and just sit back and say, well, maybe there's a process issue going on here. Maybe there is a process issue going on here. This isn't so much, maybe he just doesn't like the Glare calling him out on stuff. That could very well be the case. I don't know, but let's keep watching.
Now, is that evidence to convict somebody? No, because the burden of proof is not on anybody's defense, because that video would be used in someone's defense. If somebody were implicated and charged with Kylie's murder, that video would be used by their defense, and it's not on them. That video would simply be used as a way to create doubt in a juror, and I promise you that it will. I guarantee you that that video will create doubt in at least one juror, because that's all you have to do. Is it sinking in yet? You getting it yet? Because if it convinced entire communities on YouTube to doubt, not just doubt, but convince that that was Kylie's car going in the water, well, yeah, that's enough. That's enough for a prosecutor to go, to say, well, you know what? I mean, if the defense is going to use that, you know, I can't say that it's not going to sway a jury, so I'm not going to take the chance and prosecute. And that's just that. We haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes, as he likes to put it, the meat and potatoes of why there's no fucking way that a prosecutor would ever try to prosecute or indict anybody on this case.
The point of the matter is this: where is the crime? Where's the crime? See this post from AWP being okay with the ruling and then all the videos now, it really goes to show that AWP heads are money. This is what I'm saying, Jules. This is why I said the AWP, when they release this video, you have to think about intentionality. Then when I asked everybody, what is the point of this? Because all it's doing, and just to say, like, to be fair, I was one of the ones who said, just fucking release this. Release it. Release these videos. Who cares? Release it, right? To be fair, I was one of the ones to say that. But I also thought about the two releases that he did. He did an edited release and then an 100% not edited. And then in there in the narrative, he makes sure to put that the case of Kylie Rodney is still an open investigation as of December 1st or December 10th. And then you have Ryan Upchurch coming from, I don't know, Tennessee all of a sudden back on this, giving commentary to this. You tell me where the clicks and views, you tell me where the tragedy pimping, you tell me where did all of this kind of came about. Why? The Kylie Rodney case, you put Kylie Rodney on your titles, you're guaranteed, come on, content creators, you're guaranteed views. You're guaranteed something, right? You're definitely. We all know this. We all know this. Let's not play coy. Thank you. Mm-mm-mm. I'm looking at your comments, guys. I'm looking at your comments. I am about to break out that Cardi B. And that's not going to be on the glare. It's going to be on harsh reality. What was the reason? You already know. I'm about to break it. Again. Squishington. You're not lying. It just doesn't get any. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so crazy. And shout out to you, Sarah. Yeah, I got you. I think what is triggering is that that this whole situation is triggering for so many reasons, I think, right? And Jules just said, yep, look, I posted about Shanquella around 1K views total, Kylie 1K view in an hour. You aren't wrong. I've been paying attention. You gotta pay attention. Go to Harsh Reality's channel. And look, I don't have anything against the man. Trust me, no beef. He's never done anything to me. But that's all you have to do. Go see his views from Idaho to Kylie Rodney to anything. Go check it out. Do a comparison. Compare and contrast. Go check it out. Why is it beneficial for Harsh Reality to not drag or even mention or even say, like, look, Ryan Upchurch has the heart of it. Even though he doesn't believe that Kylie Rodney's real, he might have just been drugged up on Adderall, you know. It doesn't make sense, guys. It does not make sense. So I honestly think that this whole accidental open case, this is just a process issue. Okay? It's a process issue that's happening. Is there probably more information that happened between, Nick, what he's saying, whether he meant her, he didn't, or all there's probably a lot more information that we'll never really know. It just like Jules said, in her opinion, I agree. But is it like foul play? We'll never, we don't at that point. But honestly, I agree with the ruling. Accidental drowning. That's what happened to the girl, unfortunately. And this rehashing of it, what is it doing for the family? Who said we agree and we respect the information that's out there? Why does the YouTube community have to also agree with the findings? Period, Nay. Period. This right here. I mean, oh, it does. I saw that, Sarah. I saw that. I mean, I didn't like his treatment of Zanime. I don't understand what that was all about. I think he's got some. I mean, I feel like he's got some biases of his own as well, but nobody wants to rock the boat with that situation. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep watching.
Now that comes with a question over it, and we'll come to that in a second because that is important. But in my community feed, I have clearly stated and shown the emails between myself and Nevada Sheriff Department. We've spoken throughout this investigation, and they have only just the other day told me that this case is still under investigation.
And Nevada Sheriff's Office, we just talked about this, is probably only going to give you what they can give you. They're not going to give you, their opinion. They're just giving you what they've labeled it out there, whether it's an open investigation, accidental drown, those labels. And we talked about this, but what is the crime? Somebody has to prove a crime here. And I don't mean YouTube has to prove a crime. YouTubers, that's not our job. It is not our job to prove foul play. I mean, it's great, I'm sure, but I don't know. Unfortunately, I think some people bring a circus. Yes, mama. Okay. I think some people bring a circus to this case. To some, this is just a joke. He just said himself he's bored and wants to make a mockery of his case and the people looking into it. I don't know are you talking about harsh reality? Because I think Glare is responding to harsh reality as far as that goes. If the Nick situation actually happened, then there would be videos, audio. Right. Why haven't they released that? Why hasn't that been released from the company as well? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, none of this makes sense. Oh, you're talking about Upchurch. I got you. I mean, it's a joke, guys. You guys know that, right?
It was never closed. It was the medical examiners following the.
Okay, now it's true. This medical examiner situation, I'll get into that. But what he's saying is not untrue. But what he's doing with this, with this is misleading his audience. Okay, because first of all, this right here, greetings. You think that somebody is personally, do you really believe that somebody is personally sitting behind a computer and answering every email that comes to him from every jackass that won't let this case go? Do you think that that's what's going on? That somebody is sitting there and going, I'm going to look at this email and I'm going to look at that email and I'm going to look at that. No, that's not what they're doing. So there's a standard copy and paste response to all of this shit. And he's talking about it like I talked to somebody in the sheriff's department. I exchanged information. I exchanged correspondence. No, dude, this is the same shit that they send every asshole that fucking won't let this bullshit go. The sheriff's department is committed to keeping the integrity of this case by not releasing information while the case is still under investigation. That's an answer designed to get you to shut the fuck up and leave it alone.
Thank you.
Also, good morning. Yes, we are aware of the video and statements made, and yes, this case is still under investigation. Yes, that means it's just open. It's just whatever. If something comes up, something turns out to be, that's it. Now, I'm not an attorney, but what I'm going to go over after this video, we'll shed a little more light into what I'm talking about.
When the autopsy and toxicology, they concluded in their part of the investigation that this was an accident, and that was based on the information that they had at the time, which would have been limited to them. They'd have had whatever was available to law enforcement at that time. And let's not forget that that was very, very early on in the discovery of Kylie's body. That wasn't later on down the track when a lot of disparities, that a lot of red flags came up. A lot of things were found to be, let's just say, eyebrow raising. And then we're here where we are now. Now, even an accident, that doesn't mean that an accident was not caused by someone or something. It doesn't mean that someone didn't have knowledge of what happened. And
that's exactly what an accident means.
Right.
That's exactly what an accident means. You see what I'm talking about here? Because this guy's not fucking dumb, okay? Upchurch is fucking dumb. This guy's not dumb. He knows exactly what he's doing. But he's so full of himself and he's so focused on the narrative that he's trying to spin that he doesn't realize that he's not making any sense right here. But he thinks that by saying that an accident doesn't mean that somebody wasn't responsible and somebody isn't accountable, that's bullshit. That's exactly what an accident means. An accident means that there was no malicious intent. An accident means an accident, period. That's it. There is no crime. So therefore, it doesn't apply to a true crime channel. which is why true crime channels are not talking about this case anymore. Once it's deemed an accident, well, then there's nothing to talk about, is there?
Right.
There was no malicious intent. There was no cover up.
Tell me you guys' thoughts in the comments about this. Why people question why tow truck drivers shouldn't have a dash cam, and call log can't even say what day he saw this unidentified girl and guy acting strange, and he did not bill them receipts. Ooh, right. Thank you guys, and make sure you hit that like button. Yeah, he does kind of make me laugh. I cannot lie. Hey, Crazy Cat Mama, on this young girl who lost her life, it will never be more than an accident. She was driving late. Okay, mommy. Okay. What you got to say about something? You have something to say? What is it? Baby, baby buddy's like, look, I have something to say about this. More salacious cells. But I mean, what else is there? You just got the notification. He does have a point on this one. As much as you guys might not look, you guys know we love the glare over here, but he has a point on this one. And when he doesn't, I'll tell him, like, you don't have a point on this one, or you're wrong about this, and he knows it too. But it's just pointing out just some of the things that we have to kind of call out, right? And I was looking at harsh reality. I said, nah, man, now this is where I look at you a little sideways on this situation, because you really need to understand the intent of the matter, right? Okay, so what is the point at this point? Are we going to still talk about Kylie Rodney a year from now? You're still going to have channels that are talking about Kylie Rodney? For what? And how is that helping the family? He is speaking facts. True enough, there's unanswered questions. But if they deemed an accident, then that's what it is. Show proof that it wasn't an accident and stop the narrative. Thank you, Chico. Thank you, Chico. Thank you, Chico. Period. Period. Thank you. Conspiracy theories are always trying to make something out of nothing. It was a tragic accident. Nothing more. There's a cover up or anything. And we will never know the in between. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Right, Mama? Will we ever know the in between? Probably not. Probably not. So keep that in mind, right? As we're reviewing these cases. And also, is this something that the family wants? What is it doing for the family? You can literally see the car submerge in the water around the time and she was leaving the party. Leave it alone and let her rest in peace. Let her rest in peace. Period. So, look, I'm pointing this out. I feel like we're stuck on processes. I feel like harsh reality is stuck on these processes. I feel like you got Ryan Upchurch back. I don't know what song he's got going on next, whatever that may be. That could very well be the case at this point. I don't know. I didn't read. Yeah, I'm not reading the autopsy. Right, Mama? We're not doing that here. We're not reading the. I didn't want to do that, but because I don't even know the medical terms. Right. Right. Do you have something to say about what's going on? But anyways, guys, I wanted to show this a little bit and give my 2 cents on it. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the Idaho 4. Let me see if I can switch over to that screen right about now. Okay, so News Nation. Let's talk about News Nation real quick, okay? They did this thing, and I was thinking about this too the other day. I said, look, somebody knows something. Okay, somebody knows something as far as this case. There's more that, like, somebody has to know something. Okay, we're still trying to figure out this whole car situation. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. It looks like the Redditor wasn't correct. At least they're going back and forth on it. I'm not really sure where I stand with that until the police makes a statement from it. I'm not talking about channel whatever. I'm talking about the police. Okay, until they make a statement about it, then maybe we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm a barber now, and clients always complain that we don't have enough healthy places to eat in the small town that we walk in. McDonald's. Okay, I just read that half of that comment. Her poor family has been through hell because of AWP and certain YouTube channels. It was already hard on them losing their daughter, right, Jane? Shout out to you, Jane. Oh my gosh. And somebody knows something more in Kylie's case too. LOL, that's the point. See, there's always someone who knows more. Anyways, yes, there's a lot worse channels than Harsh. You guys are going in on these comments. When untrained people look at accident scenes, it always looks suspicious. Right, Mama? It does. It does. I would have to say, I mean, I'm not a qualified trained person. Everything looks suspicious. Hell, everything. Everything can look suspicious to me at this point. Right? Grab that. You can have it. Thank you. That's for you. Let's look at this clip from News Nation, all right? And like I said, somebody knows something about this Idaho 4 situation. I feel like it's not cold, okay? So we could definitely establish that. Give me 1 sec, guys. 1 second. All right, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to drop baby bunny real quick over there because she was all over the computer. She wanted to type up and everything. Okay, so I don't know, guys. Okay, and I'm looking into your guys' comments. Thank you, guys. Yes. So I'm kind of at this point. I was thinking about this. I said, somebody knows something. They did a little piece on News Nation about how to spot a killer. So Idaho murders, telltale signs a person is harboring an awful secret. And I said, damn, if there's anything more intriguing than telling an audience that somebody knows something and there's an awful secret out there. Right? That was my look. I was like, let me go watch it. Somebody knows something and there's an awful secret. Somebody's harboring an awful secret. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? But let me go ahead and hit play on this so we can watch it together.
Now, somebody has carried around a terrible secret that he or she, most likely he, slaughtered 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho. And that is not an easy thing to hide from friends and family and literally everybody else every moment of every day. So, is it possible that the killer is exhibiting some strange new behaviors these days, giving off telltale signs that would be huge red flags for people who knew what to look for? I'm joined by Robin Dreek. He is a retired FBI special agent and the former head of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program.
What did I say? I I said this before because I kind of went a little bit crazy. I said, why is it that you have these retired FBI counterintelligence analysts that, everybody has a professional opinion, yet we have no one who has solved the case quite yet. You let me know. Peekaboo says News Nation is trifling as hell to me. They feed salacious, in my opinion. It's already a horrible story. They should be, they shouldn't be fear baiting like this, in my opinion, of course. TJ, retired FBI. Okay, who was it? Gilliam was the other guy that was in here. 24 years of an FBI retired agent working the worst homicides. I'm like, damn, everybody's got a professional opinion and not one can solve the damn crime. And some of the information is so contradicting to each other. I don't know, guys. I always have a problem with the professional retired FBIs or professional retired attorneys. I don't know, another retired FBI. Where do they find these retired FBIs? Like, I would not be a correspondent if I was retired FBI. I'd be like doing something like fishing or traveling.
It's the program most often featured on the hit TV series Criminal Minds. So, Robin, what should we be looking for if, somebody's behaving differently around us? What kind of signs should be exhibited if someone's committed these heinous acts?
Hi, Ashley. It's It's simple as really just being present and seeing what deviates from someone's normal behavior. And we've all experienced this. We can always tell when someone's having either a really good day or a really bad day because we pick up a lot of nonverbal cues from these people every single day. The challenge in this situation is more time passes, the likelihood of the personality type starts edging more probably towards psychopathy and a lack of empathy. So we're going to probably pick up on less visual cues than we normally would.
I'm going to get back to this in a little bit, but not before I ask you, what is happening behind the scenes right now? There's 2 behavioral analysis unit members that were assigned from the FBI to this case, and it's been 2 since the get-go, and it's still 2 today. So what are those 2 people doing, and what exactly is their work product?
The fact that there's 2 is really good. And the fact that they've been there since the get-go is also really good because you want a really consolidated effort of all the information that's coming in. So there's not a miscommunication between a lot of different people. So these 2 are at the top. And at the top, what I mean is there's 60 other individuals associated with the FBI that I saw, and it is an investigative team. And as your last guest was saying, you have the younger corporal that's kind of leading the bench here. And these people are part of that bench. And so these 2 are taking in all this information, all this data, and they're basing it off of their expertise in looking at these heinous crimes as a career and trying to match up the intel that's coming in, the data that's coming in with their research that on past murders that have been similar-ish in the sense of, quadruple murders and other such.
So it sounds like what they're looking at is behavioral patterns, right? That's what these analysts do. So he's kind of giving us that scope. I mean, that's helpful, I guess. Senator, thank you for the $10. Said Moscow, Idaho, almost as weird as Truckee, California. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. I mean, some of these small towns, I don't know. You'd have to look at their crime rate and stuff like that. I mean, I remember I lived in a small town in California too, much smaller. And I mean, it was literally the town that you would leave windows unlocked, doors open, not a big deal. Little to no crime. Hey, Mimi, welcome. The particular profile is fine. There could be behavioral changes someone might see, but most of the time, I don't find the retired law enforcement commentary all that helpful. That's what I'm saying, Jane, is sometimes I feel like they state the obvious. Is that weird to say that? Like, yeah, there's going to be behavioral change. Somebody went on a killing spree, 4 people. You're finding stuff in your home or in the property that doesn't belong to you that could be suspicious. Yeah. I could have told you that too. I don't know. But the whole data piece, putting data together and other crimes and the studies, that's something that I definitely agree with, right? That maybe we need to learn more about. But this whole what has changed? I don't know, guys. I think the problem is the person isn't in the inner circle. That was my point of the last comment. Gotcha. I agree. I don't know. Never locked my door up in Santa Barbara, windows wide open. No one cared in the world, right? It's complicated in Truckee. Higher ups, water rights, old school versus new school, right? Without contributing much to the discussion. Jane, ooh, nope. Nobody, not everyone is on the internet and not everyone watches CSI. They're talking to people who already know that stuff. Right. Well, let's keep watching.
Things like that.
So I look at behaviors of serial killers like BTK and Golden State. We watched them up close and personal in court, and they couldn't have been more different. BTK was just pompous as hell, so proud, and just seemingly completely unaware of how horrendous he was. I think he just...
And this is the problem that I have. Have we established that this is a serial killer? Have we established that this is a serial killer? To even say that is the case, well, I didn't think we've established that. Bad comparison. Yeah, bind, torture, and kill was a sadistic serial killer. Right. We haven't. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's not good to do. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? I don't get paid for this stuff. But hey.
basked in the loveliness of it, even though he had a family, and had this fake life going on that was so innocent looking. But the Golden State was a former cop who just was stoic and obstinate and surly and didn't give up any of the goods. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you get in the head, or how do you profile when it looks like they can be so vastly different?
You can't.
It's actually kind of similar in the two, in the sense that if you start edging up towards psychopathy like that, it's all about grandiosity. It's how big they can make themselves look, how smarter than everyone else they are. And it's a total lack of empathy that they have, which makes it really, really challenging to.
But we haven't established that this is a serial killer. This is what my problem is with this commentary. Dr. Phil did a look into the Idaho 4, right? And he talked about the dark triad, right? And he talked a little bit about the psychopathy and the 3 dark triad, this being kind of like the perfect storm for a serial killer. But in this particular case, can we say that this is it? You cannot reference a serial killer baseless on this is what I'm saying. It's like, unless we know now, based on what I've learned about serial killers in my criminology time in school, was that you do a comparison of data, behavior patterns. This is where these behavioral analysts come in. They do this comparison of data. They put them together, time of day, weapon, if there's witnesses, no witnesses, the way in which they kill, the injuries to the bodies, things like that. You put all this data together to figure out a profile. Right? How do we go from trying to figure out whether this is 1 or 2 people to now this being a potential serial killer? Have other targets been in the area as well? Has there been any similar crimes like this?
See this in the community. It's why these things can go on for a while, because when someone's not exhibiting a deviation from a standard normal behavior that someone that has committed something like this would generally have, that makes it really hard to see. And so that grandiosity starts kicking in, and they might want to flourish it. They might want to get some sort of psychological reward out of this for themselves, to say, look at me, look what I've done, look what I've accomplished, look who I'm getting over on this.
So if I'm the behavioral analysts on this case, how do I distinguish between the possibility that this is a serial killer, because that is always a possibility, or just someone real angry, an old boyfriend, an old girlfriend, a neighbor who hates noise? Where do you even begin to find that?
First thing you're going to do is try not to have any sort of confirmation bias. So you don't want to be looking for things to try to prove one thing or disprove another. You're just going to be present and take in as much data as you can from all these different.
Confirmation bias. There you go. And Ashley says they aren't saying it's a serial killer. I think she's pointing out how the person can act so different. So how do they know what to look for as behavior? And that was the question that he did ask. But I think that him pointing out confirmation bias kind of says, well, we don't want to fall into this bubble. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to you, Ashley, for saying that. Law enforcement said they believed it was targeted. Doesn't mean it can't be a serial killer who selected his house, but it does suggest. You know what's so crazy though? Because you're saying this comment too, and I remember when the news broke out about it, and when I saw the house, okay, my mind immediately went to Ted Bundy, right? Because of his MO. And I thought, I was like, oh damn, do they have like another because that's where my mind went immediately. And so I think it's normal to do some comparison of maybe what other serial killers have done, but being very careful about what we call it to be a serial killer or not, or if that was necessarily the case here. I don't know.
Possibilities. And you're just going to look for any deviations you can. You're going to look at all the interviews that are being conducted, and you're going to assess all these individuals, all the people that have come in and out of everyone's life in the past couple of years, past couple of months, past couple of weeks, see any kind of patterns and deviations from the patterns, and just see what's changed from before to now.
Right.
It's fascinating stuff. I'm going to have you back. This conversation's not over. Rob Rodriguez, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation now.
You are welcome. All right. So she thanks us for watching. Oh my gosh, this mic is like hitting me. They will eventually tie, excuse me. They will eventually tie other cases to him. This wasn't his first kill. You do not escalate from 0 to 4 victims. My guess is that he's already stalking his next victim. He feels empowered and smarter. Barbara, okay? And there's some people that feel that that is the case. All right, my best theory is that it fits somewhat. Is the incel being rejected or teased or something? Yeah, those incels, people have said that as well. Let me see what else. It takes a lot of rage for the 4 lives and then to hide in the lengths of time without someone noticing that behavior shift. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't think fan fiction belongs in true crime. Generally, Jenny. Listen, I agree. Generally, Jenny. It's a lot, you guys. So I guess, we'll keep our ears and everything up to speed to what's going on. You guys got to let me know what your thoughts are. Now, I did say, who was it? Was it TJ who said we have to? You guys wanted to. Okay, this is based on what you guys wanted to do. You guys said you wanted to Cardi B, Mr. Harsh Reality. Do we do that before we leave? And I need to do some rabbit twerking before I head out. But I wanted to show you guys just a little bit about what News Nation is saying at this point as it pertains to this case, and then just give some commentary to this whole Kylie Rodney thing. But I don't know. And you guys are coming up with some just ideas about what's going on. Do we tomato? Do we Cardi B? What do we do? Chat, do we tomato Mr. Harsh Reality or do we Cardi B him? Let me know in the chat if you guys what you guys want to do. Let me know. I'm waiting. There's no absolutes. I'm looking. Okay. All right. Yes, and please hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're all wondering if I could be a serial killer, but to speak in absolutes should be irresponsible. Vic, I agree with you. You guys want to okay, Cardi B? You guys want to Cardi B him or tomato him? Because you guys are already both. Sarah's not messy at all. Sarah said both, damn it. Both. Right now, today, both. All right, well, you guys do your tomatoes. Here we go. I'm sorry, Mr. Harsh Reality, but people have voted. The people have voted, and you have been Cardi B'd.
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
what was the reason?
What was the reason? I can't, you guys. You guys are so messy in this chat. You guys are messy in this chat. Let me do some rabbit twerking for those super chats. Thank you so much for the love. Ooh, Jody's saying you guys are putting some stuff. Yes, we Cardi B'd him. Okay. And for those that are laughing, we're like, why are we Cardi B'ing this? What was the reason is if you guys ever I used to watch Love and Hip Hop as well. If you ever watched Love and Hip Hop, there was a season or an episode where, and this was when Cardi B was in the show, where she had some issues with the girl, and so then they had the reunion, and she wanted to know why she was receiving so much hate from this woman, and it was kind of like, what was the reason? So that has always stuck with me, is what was the reason? What was the reason for this shit? What was the reason for that? So yes, thank you. Oh, appreciate you guys. All right, guys, I have to head out because I got baby bunny awake and she's making a mess over there, and I gotta go clean it up because you know how she is. But definitely, let's just say that if you're in one of these chats, you should start every comment with in my opinion. Well, definitely. Twisted 10, I really think you need to talk to Harsh Reality about that. I saw your comment, and it's not my place to tell another content creator what they can or can't talk about. I tend to stay away from that because it can cause some chaos. So just being honest. But I appreciate you for that. Yes, thank you. I gotta go tend to them. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm out, guys. I'm out.